All right, here's a story that India must know. Defying the bandh called by separatists, youth in the valley have come out in huge numbers to serve the nation. As you can see in these pictures on our screen, accessed exclusively by Times Now, the youth lining up to take up this exam so that they can join the forces. But the netas in the valley will only poison their minds. As politics continues, this picture is a stinging rebuttal by the people of Kashmir and more so by the youth in Kashmir. Pradeep Datta, who got us these pictures, also live with us. So we have two guests, Lieutenant General Shankar Roy Chaudhary, also with us, Lieutenant General Raj Kadyan. Good evening, gentlemen. Lieutenant General Raj Kadyan, if I could come to you first, sir, how do you see these pictures in the valley, the youth in Kashmir lining up to join the forces?
It is my belief, in fact it has been my belief for quite some time, firstly that the problem in the valley is not so widespread as TV screens make it seem. It is confined to 3 or 4 districts between Anantnag and Baramulla, that is Anantnag, Pampur, Srinagar, etc., etc. Secondly, majority of the people want to live in peace, they want to live with India. But it is only a handful of people who are nose leading them on instruction from across the LOC from Pakistan. Hurriyat leaders have been playing a very, very negative role. I think our effort now should be to reach out to the common Kashmiri, to the mothers, to the sisters, to the shikara owners, to the hotel owners. They're all out of job. Would they want to live like this for another decade or two? Because they can't tire out the security forces. They should have known it by now. It is up to them to decide. People who are still with the movement are not because of ideological reasons. Either it is the lure of money, they are being paid from Pakistan. One of the Hurriyat leaders is receiving 70 lakhs per year, that has already come out. Or because of coercion. You remember Lieutenant Fayaz, how he was murdered because he was serving India. Right. So when you follow these methods to get the crowd, they don't last very long. In his heart of hearts, a normal youth wants to serve the country, have a peaceful, settled life, either in the defense forces or in any civil profession. Right. That is why so many are appearing, not only for the exam, they appear for the army recruitment, they appeared for police and BSF recruitment also. That's a clear signal that the majority are not with what is happening.
Absolutely, the majority is not with what is happening in the valley. Lieutenant General Shankar Prasad also on the broadcast. Good evening, sir. I got your name wrong on the first time. How do you see these pictures, sir? Are these images not very not heartening? Because at a time when mainstream leaders like Farooq Abdullah, the likes of Omar Abdullah, say that stone pelters are fighting for a cause, here you have the youth turning up in large numbers to join our forces.
See, while the situation in Kashmir is bad, let me make it very clear, it is not that bad as some of these separatist leaders and some of the other political leaders make it out to be. As General Kadyan rightly said, it's only a certain part of Kashmir Valley, which essentially is the southern Kashmir, which is now under trouble. And that there is also a political reason for it. We will not go into that debate at the moment. The other important thing which you must also bring out along with the story, which I'll talk about in a moment, is that just yesterday, based on hard intelligence, the armed forces were able to get Sabzar Bhatt, the leader of Hizbul Mujahideen, who's taken over from Burhan Wani. The operation was conducted on hard intelligence, which means that hard intelligence is still available and coming, which means there are people who want to support the army in counter-terrorist operations. That has been demonstrated just yesterday. You see the kind of effort the Kashmiri youth are putting into joining the allied services and the central services, the police forces, the recruitment into the armed forces. And here you're showing pictures of people writing examinations to get recruited into the army in the rank of the JCO. All of this is showing that most of the people in Kashmir understand that the mainstream India is the best option available. They all want to join these services, the central services, the police services, the paramilitary forces. They all want to come and study in Delhi. They want to go to the universities all over India. They want to become doctors, engineers and the rest of it. It is just this handful of people who are misguiding the youth, particularly in South Kashmir, not realizing that this particular block of people will get left behind. rest of the Kashmiri people will go far ahead. If they want to take the benefit of what the government of India offers to the Kashmiri youth, they must permit them to go on using these facilities. If they have a political agenda, don't ruin the children. Don't
Absolutely,
burn their schools.
don't ruin the children, don't ruin the future. That's the sentiment, sir, and you've made that point rather well. Pradeep Datta, you are tracking the developments on the ground. The large number in which these people in the Kashmir Valley have turned up to join our forces only goes on to indicate that they are saluting the idea of India, because at a time when Pakistan ke dalal or Pak apologists or what have you are will have us believe that there's a sense of alienation. There is no sense of alienation. If there is, the sense of alienation is against the Pak proxies. Isn't it, Pradeep Datta?
Yes, you're absolutely right. These visuals speak 1,000 words, and these narrate a story that how once again the silent majority in Kashmir has snubbed the vocal minority that comprises of separatists, their proxies, and even some mainstream political party leaders, including that Mani Shankar Iyer and the brigade that had gone knocking to the doors of these separatists just few days back, because they had been trying to project the villains as stakeholders. In fact, these stakeholders are these people who defied the Band call given by the separatists, because they are still with the idea of India. They want to save the country because they feel that they have to make their future and be the part of the development process and prosperity of the country. And despite, see, you can see why this story is really very important that one has to narrate. In the past also we have seen that the youngsters in Kashmir Valley, they had been beelining for the recruitment, whether it was for army or police. But today, yesterday, Sabzar, Hizbul Mujahideen terrorist was killed by security forces. And once again the separatists have given a call for Band, 2 days Band call. Defying the Band call, these youngsters, they came in large number. There were 817 vacancies. Out of 870, only 800 could turn up. The 17 were not able to turn up because there was no traffic, because as separatists had tried to force Band. And these visuals speak that how these youngsters really want to don the uniform and they want to serve the nation and want to bring peace and prosperity and fight against the terror. This story nobody wants to tell. But the problem is that all of us had been always trying to listen to the vocal minority who are always trying to project that there is an unrest and whole of the Kashmir is on the streets. In fact, it is only a handful of people, as the general, one of the panelists said, that it is only a handful of people who are trying to stoke trouble. The majority of the people in Kashmir, they stand for India. They have stood for India in the past when they came out in large number to vote. They have stood for India when they have donned the uniform. They tried to, in fact, kill Lieutenant Umar Fayaz. They wanted to generate fear psychosis. But this is a slap on the face of the separatists and even mainstream political party leaders who had been trying to, in fact, project the villains, the separatists, as a stakeholder.
Right, Pradeep Datta. They may not want to tell this story, but at times now we will put this story out like we have been putting the story out. It is indeed, like you said, a slap on the faces of not just Pak ke dalal, but also Pak apologists. We thank our guest, Lieutenant General Shankar Prasad and Lieutenant General Raj Kadyan. Pradeep Datta, stay with us. We have